Hey guys, and welcome to That Sports Guy. Now, if you found yourself here, I am Sean, this is my channel, and I discuss all sports, football to cricket, rugby to golf, we have you covered. Now today, I want to talk about the test series between India and England, give my thoughts on the first test, how I think it was won and lost, and then preview the second test. So as we know, the first test finished just a day or so ago, and England won by 227 runs, a magnificent double century by Joe Root setting up the game, and I think it was probably, looking back now, I think it was won by probably tea time on day 2. Now, there's a lot of criticism for India, particularly their spin bowlers. Washington Sundar, he was great with the bat, but didn't really offer much with the ball. Ashwin done what Ashwin does. I thought Boomer was quite ineffective. I know he's been injured of late, but I thought he would have been better than he was. And obviously, you're missing Jadeja and Sammy quite a lot, I feel. Virat Kohli, there's a lot of talkers here. A good captain, is he not a good captain? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. A lot of people think that maybe Rahane should take over as captain after that great performance in Australia. I think you got to look at it two ways, really. I mean, yes, he done a good job, but I think Virat Kohli is such a good leader. I think taking that away from him will take away some of his edge. I know people say he'd better just focusing on his batting. Maybe that's true, but I think, I don't know, a year or so ago, maybe a bit shorter, Joe Root was getting the same sort of criticism. He was being told he's not a good captain, he should just focus on his batting, and now look how he's turned the corner. I think it's only a matter of time before Virat Kohli does that as well. I really do. I think stick with him as captain, and the results will come. Anyway, let's go back to that first test match, where it was decided, as I say, a lot of it is Joe Root. He's in the form of his life at the minute, isn't he? 200s in Sri Lanka, and now follows that up with a double 100 here in India. It's a hard one really with England, isn't it? Because obviously Jos Buttler, he's going to be going home now. Ben Foakes taking over the gloves, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think probably Foakes is a better keeper. He done well against spin in Sri Lanka when he played a couple of years ago as well. So there's also that. And in terms of the England side for the second test, I don't think there'll be too many changes. Maybe Brody for Jimmy, and maybe Jofra will be given a blow because it's quite a short turnaround. But apart from that, I don't really see there being much changes to the England team. India will be a different proposition, I think, this second test. I think they'll be far more on their game and the sort of India we're used to seeing, really. I don't know their team really will change much. Maybe they'll change a couple of the spinners around. I don't think Jadeja's going to be fit, so I don't think he'll come back in. I'm not sure what the situation is with Shami either, because he's often caused England problems in the past, with his pace. And he's not the quickest of bowlers, but it's his skill, much like Jimmy Anderson, I think, which has been England's downfall in the past. So I'm just going to have a look at my notes on here. Professional, maybe not so much. And I'll go through the performers where I think England did well and where they did not so well. Because there's a lot of criticism before the tour started over Dom Bess, Is he a good spinner? Is he a bit lucky with the wickets he gets? Can he perform consistently? And okay, he was great the first innings. Now, I'm a big fan of Dom Bess, I must say. I don't want to be hard on him or anything, because I actually quite like him. But I think, the inconsistency we saw again in the second innings. What did he go for? I think he went for over 50, didn't he? Let's have a look. Yeah, so he bowled 8 overs for 50, going at 6.25 and over, which in Test cricket, I suppose the situation dictated him to be more tight. Although they won the game, I think going forward he needs to sort of do a bit more work. But as I say, I don't want to be too hard on him because I actually like him. The bowling figures, while we're on that, was Jofra, 9.1 overs, 1 for 23. Again, I send Jofra getting some criticism. I don't know why. I think he's done his job, what is asked for him. He set the standard in the first innings with the ball, didn't he? You know, he got those 2 wickets. Unlucky not to get Virat out, I feel. And, you know, he sort of got England going with the ball in the first innings. Jack Leach, he got 4 for 76. So again, not really a tight economy rate. 3 and over in Test cricket. Again, you would say, maybe that's a bit too expensive. Jimmy Anderson, star of the show, I think, for me. 11 overs, 3 for 17. I mean, that I don't know, what was it, a 4 or 5 over spell he done when he got the 2 wickets and then got panned out after. That was just him at his best, really, when he got the ball just reversing and tailing the touch. Perfection. And then Stokesy bowled 4 overs, 1 for 13 with the key wicket of Virat. So on the whole, I would say England's performance was very good. I mean, most people was expecting them to get down 4-0 or 3-0. I know Michael Vaughan was in particular, you know, he kept saying, yeah, England's got no chance. You know, there's some talk about this series can be decided just by a coin toss, really, because if you get 5, 7, 8, you know, more often than not you'll win the game. But, you know, for me, I don't really think cricket should be sort of decided on who wins the coin toss, really, because that's not really how cricket should go, in my opinion. But such are the pitches in India, that's often how the games are decided, like it or not. So the second test match then starts on Saturday, same stadium. There's talk of being a crowd, which would be quite good to see a crowd back. I know they won't support England per se, but just to see a crowd back at a live sporting event, it's only a good thing in my opinion. I think England will have to be at that same standard again, if not a bit better. They fielded well. I think only one chance really they missed was when I think Jofra dropped one off Leach in the first innings, but I think apart from that, I think they was on the money with the fielding. Obviously, they got Carl Hopkinson in, the fielding coach, who was at Sussex. He's a notorious good fielder, and I think, you know, for England, if they want to perform at the level they was and be more consistent throughout the series, yes, Leach and Best need to be at their best, pardon the pun there, and bowl tight, attacking lines, you know. Try not to let the batsmen get on top of them and settle into a rhythm, which I think Leach done well second innings. But I think basically it's going to be won and lost this series now by how well England bat. You know, they can't keep relying on Joe Root, they need other players to get runs. I thought Sibley was great first innings after a lot of talk about him in Sri Lanka. Is he really up to it? Can he bat against spin for long periods of time? I think he's put that one to bed now. Question marks of Burns. I know he's not played in a while, but I think he didn't really show anything in the first innings. Done a silly shot to get out just before lunch, you know, and it's not what you want, is it? It's not what you want. I don't think England will have as much luck as they did going forward. I don't think it's going to be as easy. It never is. I think they may win the series though. I know they need to win 3-0 or 4-0 or 3-1, I believe, if they want to progress to the World Test Championship final, but I'm not really sure, you know. I don't understand that. I don't think many people do, to be honest. So what I would say is my prediction for the series now will be 2-1 to England. I think there will be a draw and test somewhere along the line. I think just the logic is that to happen with the pitches, and you know, I know it won't be a draw because of rain or anything like that, but I would say there is a strong case of both teams get, I don't know, 500 on each innings and then it becomes a draw, you know. That can happen quite quickly over in that part of the world. So England, as I say, I think there may be a few team changes, you know. I think possibly Jofra may be rested, rotated with maybe Ollie Stone will get a game, Mark Wood, who knows, Anderson for Broad, but apart from that I don't really see many changes. India, I think they may change the spinners around. Will Washington Sundar play? You know, he showed, I think for me, from what I've seen of him, with the bat and with the ball, both the last 2 test matches in Australia and now what he's done so far in the first test match against England. I would sort of say he reminds me a lot of when Steve Smith first started. As we know, he was more of a leg spinner, and then he progressed into probably one of the best number 4s in world cricket alongside Root and Kohli. I don't know how good Washington is bowling, because we haven't really seen him dominate, We haven't seen him, well, in test cricket at least, do a, Muralitharan, where he can rip through an attack. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. India batting, I know there's questions over Rohit. A lot of people want him out the side, it seems. I don't think that will happen. And Pujara is the key for me. If you get him early, I think England's in the business. Obviously, they still got Kohli to come. But I think Pujara holds the key in a lot of senses in England, really. Right, that's me rambling along for long enough, I think. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. And as I say, it's not just cricket you'll find here, all sports, maybe even a few live reactions to sports as we progress. Thanks for watching, have a good day, and I shall see you next time.